So I went and bought me a new hammer, Martinez hammer. I had one before, I lost it. I think I know where it's at, but I'm not 100% sure. I think I set it up in the ceiling of a house that we were working on. By the time you paid the drywall to go back and fix everything in the painter, I might as well just buy another hammer. So, and I'm not 100% sure it's in that ceiling. So I bought myself another hammer, and I bought a square, the Martinez square. So we're gonna open this up, check it out. These things aren't cheap. So it is a titanium. It's made out of titanium. You get it custom made, custom colored, whatever you want. You can get different kind of head. You can get the waffle face, you can get the smooth face. The last one I got, I had a red head. I knocked the paint off within the first week, so I figured I'd do something different this time, which I really don't use a hammer as much as I used to, so probably lasts a little bit longer this time. We'll just see if we can get this put together. So whenever I was framing, I started in '96. There was a hammer at the lumberyard that was $100. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna pay $100 for a hammer. And then DeWalt came out with their version. It was like $60. I used to swing an E-swing hammer until my wrist got to where I couldn't. It just hurt so bad I had to switch to a wooden handle hammer, and then I kept breaking those out, and so then I switched to the DeWalt had their own version of, it was lightweight, but it still swung like a heavy hammer. And I've used that for years. And then I got a Martinez. It's really just a couple years ago I got that. And then, but as far as like, I just never did want to spend the money on one because I didn't see the point. But now that I've had one, I really like it. So it's if you can keep them and not lose them, I think they're worth the money. But I have a tendency to, whenever I'm working, especially now, I don't wear my bags every day. And so we're setting trusses somewhere I don't usually have my bags on just because they're heavy and I don't really use the tools that much. And so I have a hammer, I'll lay the hammer down, it gets lost. So I have a cheap $20 hammer that I've been sporting the last few months. And then my DeWalt hammer that I had, one of the guys has, I guess they've inherited that one because I left it on a job site, and he told me the other day that he had my hammer and he didn't offer it back to me, so I guess he's gonna keep it, which I don't need it. So this hammer, between the hammer and the square, was $550 or something. Definitely not cheap. It's definitely an investment. But if you're gonna be swinging it every day, like now, even now, my wrist, I can't, if I do too much, a lot of work with this wrist, it'll get to where I just can't. It just overworks, and it just gets real bad pain in there. So I would say if you're starting out, you're gonna be swinging a hammer every day, to get a Martinez or a stiletto, just to help save your wrist, just because I'm only 45 and I still got a lot of life to live, so I gotta deal with that. And so we'll get this thing put together, and we may give it a test run here in a little bit. I don't want to scratch it, putting this head on. The last time I scratched it, when I was putting the head on, just read the directions. It's gonna get messed up, but yep. Already knocking the paint off, look at that. There we go. Actually, I thought I wanted the head gray.
Oh.
And this guy. There we go. Oh, I'm sure. Boogered it up a little bit. So there she is, Martinez. The M1. So the guy that makes the Martinez, he's the guy that used to make the stiletto. This guy's name is Martinez. Okay, so the square, the square is a titanium square. I've always just used the Swanson Speed Square, and then I've used other ones. The Swanson seems to be harder to find nowadays. Maybe just where I'm going. They're my favorite, the Swanson Speed Square. And so this one is titanium. I guess we'll see what, I've never used a titanium square before, so it's supposed to be good. We'll see, I guess. It's got a built-in level. I'm not real sure. I don't think the reason we're doing this on the back side of my truck is because we're waiting on our guys to get here. They're running late, so we got some time to kill. And I don't know, I'm going to tighten it up like I would. I'm going to tighten up each one of them a little bit. That's it right there. Nothing too fancy. Got the little level in there. It's just going to take some getting used to, because on the Swanson Speed Square, I was used to turning on the edge, and I know how thick that was, and so it'll take some getting used to this being thicker on here.
Right, there you go.
So this is an Empire Square. This is what I've had. I lost my Swanson. I couldn't find another one, so I bought this guy one day. The one I don't like about this is this. I guess I never really noticed it as much, but the Swanson is rounded. They don't seem to have as sharp of corners, and so I'm always like catching. Not as much now. I kind of wore it down a little bit, but I was always like scratching myself on these corners. But it's a little bit of a difference in them. So this one's actually got a full 1.5 inches. So if you're marking 1.5 inches, you can actually just, you don't have to sit there and try to find if you're laying out studs, you can just move it over to the edge of it versus, you know. So I guess we'll see if that's quicker or easier. I don't know. I know on the Swanson, to me it's easier. This one, I don't know how easy I'm gonna, because whenever you mark, you mark it and then you slide it over, mark it again. I just don't know. It's my representation of a pencil. We'll see. We'll put it to the test. We're gonna go to a job site and do some rafters. So we'll check it out, see how she does.